Today, WSU is celebrating its 132nd birthday.
And a scientific journalist is speaking at WSU, coming up next on Murrow News 8.
Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University. This is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Zane Dodge.
And I'm Derek Strom. Welcome to Murrow News 8. Well, you can have your cake and eat it too. Our reporter Shane Merwin is live on the scene with more information on how WSU is celebrating its 132nd birthday. Shane?
That's right, Derek. Wazoo was founded on March 28, 1890, and today marks its 132nd birthday. On the Todd Hall steps, cake was handed out to anyone who wanted some by the Alumni Association. There were all kinds of cake ranging from vanilla to carrot, chocolate, all that good stuff that Sugar Shane loves and enjoys. Also today there was a stop and spin the wheel for Wazoo gear outside of the ITB alongside Wilson Mall. I know our own Drew Ambergee won a Frisbee in that spin, but I kind of heard it was more luck rather than skill, so more given, not earned. Back to you guys at the desk. Shane Merwin outside, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Shane. Interested in learning more about the conservation of endangered species? Award-winning author and scientific journalist Michelle Niehaus is discussing her latest book, Beloved Beasts, Fighting for Life in an Age of Extinction at 6 p.m. Wednesday in the Honors Hall Lounge. Niehaus is part of a long list of speakers for the VN Beta lecture. The Honors College has invited distinguished individuals to speak on campus for the better part of 40 years. The event is free and open to the public. Kendra Lentz won the Garfield Palouse Distinguished Young Women Scholarship Program yesterday. Distinguished Young Women is the oldest and largest scholarship program for high school girls, and they made more than $1 billion in scholarships available last year. Lentz will advance to the Washington State program in Pullman this summer.
And Saturday night, Brianna Comp won the Pullman Distinguished Young Woman Scholarship Program, and Isabel Monk won the Genesee Distinguished Young Women Scholarship Program. Monk now heads to the Idaho State program that will be held this fall. And a new exhibit is showcasing the fight Mexican-American migrant workers in southeastern Washington face for better working conditions and wages. The showcase, titled La Causa, features photos of Yakima Valley farm workers during the 1960s and 70s. The exhibit also spotlights key public figures playing important roles in the farm workers movement. The exhibit at WSU's Manuscripts, Archives, and Special Elections Showcase opens today with a reception at MASC's Terrell Library's ground floor location.
After multiple animal hoarding cases in the month of March, the Pullman Humane Society suddenly needed help from the community to shelter, treat, and adopt out the animals. They asked for help on social media, and within 48 hours, donations from around the country came in. Animals were treated at WSU's Vet Teaching Hospital, and the Humane Society said they got everything they needed to meet the needs of the animals. As the celebration continues, find out which county's port awarded a huge sum of money for a museum restoration.
And find out what U of I found after a wastewater testing. The Port of Whitman County has awarded a $50
$100,000 grant to help pay the restoration of the Pullman Depot Heritage Center. The money was granted to the Whitman County Historical Society for their efforts to restore and renovate the building into a museum. The old Northern Pacific Railroad depot was constructed in 1917.
Wastewater testing at the University of Idaho, along with partners at Boise State, Idaho State, and Lewis and Clark State, is helping to pave way for a new method of tracking and predicting spikes in COVID-19 cases at a community level. The team at U of I first started its work in 2020 after the city of Moscow requested help to monitor COVID-19 levels in wastewater, said Eric Kos, a professor of environmental engineering and lead for the U of I testing program. Now funding from the CDC's National Wastewater Surveillance System is expanding those efforts in collaboration with Idaho's public colleges and universities. And a 91-year-old Pomeroy man died in a car crash Saturday. Robert Glaspie, excuse me, we're having some technical difficulties here. Robert Glaspie was traveling east on State Route 194 when he left the highway while trying to navigate a curve. The 2004 Chevy Silverado rolled and came to rest on its wheels. The man was not wearing a seatbelt, and the exact cause of the crash is still under investigation.
The Pullman Police Department is looking for a man that may have used a stolen credit card at Dismore's. According to Pullman Radio, the case is connected to a vehicle burglary reported on College Hill on March 12th. If you have any information, contact the police department.
Now, we saw some warmer weather this weekend, and I had some hope that things were getting better, but we saw some rain today, and honestly, I'm a little bit concerned about what the future holds for us. Vasily, you have any good news about what the rest of the week's going to look like?
Thanks, guys. Well, it was pretty rainy this morning, but should clear up today. We got a high of 59 and a low of 40. It was raining this morning, but it should clear up a little bit. There is wind at 6 miles per hour right now. Y'all saw the sun come up this morning, so tonight it is going to come down at 7:12. Now let's move on to tomorrow. Tomorrow's looking a little bit better than today. It's still going to be mostly cloudy. However, there are going to be some pockets of sunshine. And we got a high of 57 and then a low of 38. The wind's going to stay about the same, might be a little bit heavier, but it's going to be 8 miles per hour tomorrow. Sun's going to come up at 6:33 for all you early risers, and then it's going to set again at 7:12 tonight. Now let's move on to across the state. Our friends over in Seattle right now, they're looking at rain like they always do, but they're at 57 and a low of 45. Olympia is pretty cloudy right now. It is 60 and 44 as the low. Now let's move on to the middle of the state. Yakima is at 69 for a high, and it's very cloudy over there as well with a low of 40. Tri-Cities is looking the best out of here at 71 and a low of 46, and that's clear skies all the way. And then back here in Pullman and Spokane, it's going to be 60s, low 60s, high 50s over there, and it's cloudy and partly sunny as well. Now let's move on to the 5-day forecast for you guys. Like I said, today, Monday, is supposed to be pretty cloudy. Tuesday is partly cloudy. It's going to be partly cloudy for the rest of the week pretty much. In the high 50s for the early part of the week, and then it's going to drop down to the higher 40s, lower 50s for that. So thank you guys. We're going to throw it back to the desk.
Thanks, Vasily. Coming up, the Cougars men's basketball team will be playing tomorrow in the NIT semifinals.
And find out what took place during WSU's Pro Day.
Hi, I'm Michelle Harmon with sports. The Cougars men basketball team will compete in the NIT semifinals against the Texas A&M Aggies at Madison Square Garden tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. After beating the BYU Cougars 77-58 last week, the WSU men's basketball team earned the opportunity to travel to the Big Apple and compete in the tournament. It's been 11 years since the Cougs have qualified for the NIT semifinals, so it's an exciting time to be a Coug. Next, WSU launched the Icon Suite today, which is part of the digital marketing company Icon Source. This will provide opportunities to Cougar student athletes, including connecting student athletes with brands, endorsements, and partnerships. Icon Suite will continue to promote the NIL opportunities for WSU athletics. Just last year, the NCAA NIL legislation passed, which means the student athletes are now able to take advantage of opportunities to promote themselves where they couldn't do that before. After a 7-6 season in Cougar football, many are eager for 2022 Washington State Pro Day, which takes place today. After a 7-6 season in Cougar football, WSU football coach Jake Dickert is focused on the 2022 campaign, which will include WSU's top offensive tackles, starting running back, and a pair of defensive players. Pro Day will determine who will qualify for the NFL draft coming up next month. The U.S. men's national soccer team is on the brink of a World Cup qualification. Forward Christian Pulisic spearheaded a 5-1 win over Panama last night, recording a hat trick. Winger Paul Arola and forward Jesus Ferreira respectively added a goal as well. The win almost solidifies the Americans' qualification for the 2022 World Cup. Any other result other than a 6-goal defeat against Costa Rica on Wednesday qualifies the U.S. national team for the World Cup this winter.
Thanks, Michelle. And hey, we got the teleprompter back. When we come back, we'll talk about the slap that was heard around the world.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Well, if you happen to live under a rock, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock on stage at the Oscars last night. Honestly, when I first saw this clip, I really couldn't tell if it was real or not. Zane, what do you make of it?
I don't know, honestly. I didn't pay that much attention to the Oscars last night, but what I'm hearing is it's 50-50 either way.
So you're not Team Rock or Team Will Smith here?
No, I don't really pay attention to the Oscars, so.
Fair enough, fair enough.
I just saw the hoopla on Twitter last night.
It was honestly probably a top 10 night to be on social media last night. It was fantastic.
I bet it was, but I'm more that sports guy, you know.
Fair
you know
enough.
me, so.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't pay attention. I just saw it blowing up on my phone. You know, Dave Softy Muller and then he ends up winning an award after it.
Yeah, exactly. He wins Best Actor for King Richard. I don't know if you saw that movie, but it's fantastic. I totally recommend it.
No, I didn't watch it, but that's going to do it all for us tonight. Thanks for watching.